president reimbursed Michael Cohen for the $130,000 worth of hush money made to Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election. Giuliani's comments directly contradict months of denials from the president, the White House, and Cohen himself. Joining us now is Michael Avenatti. He is Stormy Daniels' attorney. Michael, great to see you.
Good morning.
What did you think last night when you heard Rudy Giuliani say that, yes, Michael Cohen had been reimbursed that $130,000 from President Trump?
I was stunned. I was speechless. I'm still stunned this morning. There has been lie after lie told to the American people relating to this transaction, the agreement, the payment. You have the President of the United States standing on Air Force One and stating that he knew nothing about the agreement, nothing about the payment. We now know that that was an absolute lie on videotape aboard Air Force One, and I think it's an absolute disgrace.
Of course, lying to the American public is actually not a criminal act. You can do that. So where's the criminal violation?
Well, I think it's very likely that there is criminal liability associated with how this repayment was structured, relating to what was disclosed from a campaign finance perspective. You know, Rudy Giuliani says, well, no campaign funds were used, so therefore there is no campaign finance violation. That's not how the law works. It just isn't.
But explain that. So what he's been saying is that $35,000 a month was paid from President Trump to Michael Cohen, his personal attorney, on retainer. So as you well know, lawyers are sometimes kept on retainer. So how is that a violation of campaign finance laws if that was the money that was then used to pay Stormy Daniels?
If they structured this repayment, this $130,000 repayment, if they structured it in a way to avoid detection or in an effort to make it appear to be something that it was not, namely a retainer payment as opposed to a $130,000 reimbursement, that may involve money laundering depending on how it was handled. There also may be tax issues relating to the deductibility of those expenses. If they were deducted as legal expenses for tax purposes, when in reality it had nothing to do with legal services rendered, but instead was the reimbursement of the $130,000, that too is going to be a problem. And I think what you're seeing here is that Rudy Giuliani was sent out there to try to hang a lantern on this in an effort to get out in front of it, because they know that we were about to get to the bottom of it, and or the information was ultimately going to be disclosed because it was obtained by way of the FBI raids.
Rudy Giuliani didn't say money laundering, but he did use a curious word when he described this money. He said it was funneled. It was funneled through Michael Cohen's law firm or through the retainer. Did your ears perk up like mine did when you heard the word funneled?
Absolutely. My ears perked up in much the same way as when I saw Michael Cohen's written denial many months ago, where he talked about facilitating the payment. And he also stated that it had never been reimbursed by the campaign or the Trump organization. That was lawyer speak then, in that he was hiding the fact that, in fact, it was reimbursed by some other organization or Mr. Trump himself.
Here's the tweet that the president sent out this morning about all this. It says, Mr. Cohen, an attorney, received a monthly retainer, not from the campaign and having nothing to do with the campaign, from which he entered into through reimbursement a private contract between two parties known as a non-disclosure agreement, or NDA. These agreements are very common among celebrities and people of wealth. In this case, it is in full force and effect and will be used in arbitration for damages against Ms. Clifford, Stormy Daniels. The agreement was used to stop the false and extortionist accusations made by her about an affair, despite already having signed a detailed letter admitting there was no affair. Prior to its violation, Ms. Clifford and her attorney, this is the passive attorney, I think. There was a private agreement. Money from the campaign or campaign contributions played no role in this transaction.
Well, first of all, the president did not write either one of those tweets.
How can you tell?
Well, I think it's obvious. Secondly, whoever the attorney is that wrote those two tweets is an absolute moron, because now what he or she has done is create additional significant liability for the president. And then third, they don't even know how to tweet. I mean, that's almost unintelligible or
unintelligible to prove your point. You said last night that this revelation, what Rudy Giuliani said last night, means that President Trump will not serve out his term. He will ultimately be forced to resign. How do you get to that conclusion?
Well, I've been saying that for a couple of weeks, and we're getting closer and closer by the day with each passing day and additional revelations of fact that are coming to light. This is a very serious issue, very serious issue. I mean, there's going to be significant liability that's going to flow from this. And we still haven't gotten to the bottom of it. They're making it up as it goes along. They're digging a hole deeper and deeper. He's not going to be able to withstand it. And we're going to tell over the next months and perhaps year as to whether I'm correct or not. But thus far, I think my record's pretty decent.
But listen, you know the president's a fighter. How's he going to resign over this? I mean, this is just all part of the fight. He says that it was a monthly retainer. He didn't know anything about it. He didn't have an affair with Stormy Daniels. How's that going to all make him resign? Just connect those dots.
I think there's going to be significant evidence that's going to come to light, and I don't think he's going to be able to withstand it. I think that there's no question that Michael Cohen is going to have no choice but to roll over or flip on the president. You know, all I could think about last night was, how do you think Michael Cohen is feeling sitting at home? I guarantee you that he didn't know that Rudy Giuliani was going to go on national television and effectively throw him off the cliff, which is exactly what he did. I mean, Michael Cohen cannot be feeling very good about his loyalty and friendship with the president this morning.
But he had said that he was not reimbursed by the Trump organization or the campaign.
Correct. This was all a ruse. This entire thing has been a ruse. He said that he facilitated the payment.
And that to you means that there's three people. When you use the word facilitate, why are you zeroing in on that?
And I've zeroed in on it for months now, is because why not just say I paid it? Facilitate seems to suggest that there's some other party that's reimbursing you or paying you for it. And now, in fact, we find out that that's true.
What did Stormy Daniels think when she heard what Rudy Giuliani said last night? Have you spoken to her yet?
Well, with each passing day, she feels more and more vindicated. Every time a piece of information comes out that is consistent with the claims in our case and is consistent with what we've been saying now for months, she feels more and more vindicated. She feels empowered, and she's not going to stop this fight, and either am I, until we get to the bottom of this and all of the information comes to light.
Any developments quickly on what was